We've been looking forward to our first weekend wrap-up of 2020, but this time, we asked you to share your picks about what made the end of 2019 so special, or what are you looking forward to in the new year. So, let's dive in. Patty McCormick welcomed her first grandbaby, Lucas James DeRay, into the world on November 24th. Now, Mom is staying home while Lucas's daddy serves our country in the Army. Barbara Haas's baby, Xavier, took a pic with the big guy. The sweetie also gave Santa a big kiss, and then Barbara swears he smiled, not Santa, but Xavier. Hashtag rescue is the best breed. Jesse Rass of 1069 Play spent New Year's with his wife Lindsay and their son Ian. They're all looking forward to becoming a family of 4 later this year. Kelly Sullivan and her family started the year with service at the table. This was their first time volunteering, but it won't be the last. Julia Danzel says her hubby, New Albany firefighter Josh Williams, and their sweet son Luca is what made 2019 so special. They're looking forward to watching Luca grow in 2020. Erica Keller celebrated her mom, Karen Keller's 50th birthday in Chicago. Kimberly Sissel had a rough start to 2019 after the loss of her mother. So she spent the first Christmas and New Year without her in New York with her best friend Melissa, which helped remind her that despite her parents no longer being here, she is never alone. Robyn Miller was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer in March 2019. Now, she's still undergoing treatment, but looking forward to positive results in 2020, and she set a goal of walking in the Oaks Parade this year. Speaking of Derby, WJIE 88.5 co-host Caroline Scott looks forward to designing hats and fascinators for Sweet Caroline Hats, which she says it's my therapy. And last but most definitely not least, Tisha shared this special story about her mother, Jacqueline Gough, who was diagnosed with inoperable terminal colorectal cancer in 2018. She spent the last 14 months fighting the disease and fighting the emotions, not to mention the financial costs. Jacqueline has shown signs of improvement, but the best part of 2019, says her daughter Tisha, was when Jacqueline attended the Capture the Moment event at the Brown Cancer Center. As part of their Christmas, she shared her photos from the event with all the family members, where she wore what they call with a smile, her vacation shirt. Here's to hoping 2020 brings Jacqueline and her family more happiness than sadness and more good days than bad. Thanks to all of you who shared what gives you joy for this edition of a weekend wrap-up in 2019 and headed into 2020. We're going to do it again. Just keep your eyes on our Great Day Live Facebook page and my Angie Fenton Facebook page too.